Why Sarah Ferguson, Beatrice, and Eugenie can't escape the taint of family scandal. Welcome to Crown Chronicles, the home of royal revelations, untold truths, and deep dives into the lives of the British royal family. If you love exclusive stories, behind-the-scenes whispers, and the real narrative behind palace drama, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing royal community. Trust me, today's story is one you'll want to listen to right till the end, because it uncovers the powerful, painful, and complicated truth about why Sarah Ferguson and her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, can't seem to escape the long shadow of scandal that continues to follow them. This isn't just another royal drama. This is a generational burden, one that began decades ago, and one that the palace still hasn't figured out how to fully contain. To understand why the York women remain entangled in this web, we must travel back to the beginning of their story. Sarah Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie, entered the royal scene in the 1980s as a breath of fresh air, confident, fun, modern, and utterly unapologetic. She brought life into the monarchy, and for a moment, she was everything the royal family needed. But it didn't take long for her whirlwind energy to clash with the rigid expectations of the firm. The scandals started early, the paparazzi chases, the messy finances, the infamous toe-sucking photographs, and her multiple business ventures that seemed to attract controversy like bees to honey. Every time the family tried to move past one headline, another one appeared. And even when she and Prince Andrew divorced in 1996, their unusual closeness kept her firmly attached to the York name, and to the monarchy's reputation. But while adults can absorb their own blows, the impact on their daughters was unavoidable. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie were born into privilege, but unlike their cousins William and Harry, they also inherited the fallout of their parents' very public missteps. From childhood, they became targets of media attention, sometimes admiring, often mocking, and always scrutinizing. The heavy expectations of royal blood collided constantly with the realities of a family that was, by royal standards, chaotic, yet for years, the sisters stayed largely out of the spotlight. They studied, worked respectable jobs, and tried to carve out normal lives. But the world, and the media, never forgets. And just when it seemed the York family had finally stabilized, everything changed again. Prince Andrew's scandal exploded, the allegations, the lawsuits, the catastrophic BBC interview, it all reignited the narrative that the Yorks were the problem wing of the royal family. And no matter how innocent Beatrice and Eugenie were, no matter how unrelated they were to the accusations, the taint extended to them instantly. Overnight, their names became synonyms for the turmoil surrounding their father. Suddenly, invitations dried up. Their royal roles remained frozen. Public opinion shifted. Even charitable appearances became overshadowed by questions about Andrew. And Sarah Ferguson, who has always stood by Andrew, became a lightning rod all over again, criticized for her loyalty, her decisions, and her belief in a man the world had already judged. This is where the tragedy of the York women lies. Their reputations are deeply tied to a narrative they did not create, cannot control, and have spent their entire lives trying to rise above. They are, in many ways, trapped between love and legacy. Princess Beatrice, for instance, has built a quiet, stable career in finance and is known for her kindness, intelligence, and dedication to her family. She rarely puts a foot wrong, yet any story about her inevitably circles back to Prince Andrew. From her wedding to Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi to her occasional royal engagements, her father's shadow looms behind her like an uninvited guest. Princess Eugenie faces a similar burden. A passionate advocate for anti-slavery work, a committed mother, and one of the most genuine members of the younger royal generation, she still cannot fully escape the glare of Andrew's scandal. Even her charity projects and public statements are examined through the lens of what her father represents. And Sarah? Despite all her efforts to reinvent herself, as an author, a charity ambassador, a media personality, she remains forever linked to the chaos of her past. Her unwavering loyalty to Andrew, though admirable to some, is perplexing to others. And for the monarchy, it is a constant reminder of the York family's unpredictability. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. Privately, palace insiders say that the York women are more valued within the family than the public realizes. Queen Elizabeth II adored them. King Charles respects them. And Prince William, though cautious, recognizes that Beatrice and Eugenie represent a part of the royal future that must be carefully managed. Not discarded. The problem isn't their character, the problem is their narrative. The monarchy, more than anything, depends on image and stability. And the York family, despite the best efforts of its women, has long represented the opposite. Every time the Windsors attempt to rebrand, the York scandals resurface like ripples in a calm lake. Even now, with King Charles pushing for a slimmed-down monarchy, the York princesses occupy a strange position, not working royals, yet more royal than nearly everyone else in their age group. Loved by the late Queen, but seldom front-facing today. Innocent of wrongdoing, yet burdened by the sins, and scandals, of the generation before them. And then there's the emotional truth. Sarah, Beatrice, and Eugenie are deeply close. Their bond is one of the strongest in the family. They support each other fiercely, they protect Andrew passionately, and they cling together in every storm that hits them. But that unity, beautiful as it is, makes it harder for the public, and the palace, to separate them from Andrew's legacy. This is why the taint of scandal follows them. A family moves as a unit, one scandal becomes shared scandal, one wound becomes inherited. They are not guilty. But the shadow is still theirs to live under. Yet here's what makes this story so compelling, and why you should keep watching the Yorks very closely. Beatrice and Eugenie are quietly building lives that may eventually redeem the family name. Their charitable work, their modern approach to royalty, and their dedication to keeping the monarchy human could one day reshape the public's perception of the York legacy. But for now, the past remains too loud. As the royal family continues to evolve, the world will be watching to see whether the York women can forge a new identity, one strong enough to finally break free from the scandals that have defined their family for decades. Thank you for watching Crown Chronicles, where we uncover the stories behind the royal headlines and reveal the truth behind palace walls. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts below. Do you think Beatrice and Eugenie can ever escape their family's past? Or will the York legacy always carry the shadow of scandal? Stay tuned, more royal revelations are coming.